Well, from the song, oh bee, oh bye, oh me, oh my, I do love my little nidge with mud and sticks and leaves and twitch. It is the perfect place to be. I am so lucky to be me. Do we think that the bitch is the bird, a bee, or a person? Those seem to be the three guesses from before. Do you think? Jean, what do you think?
A person.
Why a person?
Because it's the people.
What about people? What in here?
It's a name.
It is a name, and people do have names, okay?
But it starts with lowercase. People have uppercase names.
Oh, that's right. In the middle of the story, it does have a lowercase. Okay. So with that in mind, then I wonder what it might be. Natalia?
A bird.
Why do you think it's a bird?
Because a bird has a lowercase b.
It does, but so does a bumblebee, and some people thought it was a bee. So why do people think it might be a bird and not a bee? Sarah?
And because it's saying the stuff that birds use to make the nest, they need sticks for them to lie down and sit in, and then it needs mud to stick the sticks together.
You're right.
And it needs leaves to put in its nest to make a cozy place for its eggs.
But what word do we think means nest? Because I don't see the word nest here.
It means nest.
Oh.
It's just a not real word. And you know that it's twigs because it just goes to a edge. All you gotta do is just add the twig.
Oh, so instead of a go, we put a... Boy, that seems to make sense. But what about a bee? Couldn't it be a bee?
No.
Why couldn't it be a bumblebee? Lily?
Because bumblebees are too small.
What do you mean they're too small?
Because you don't really see them. They're just yellow, but you don't see them.
Okay, but maybe it was just really tiny, and maybe this frog is really, really good at seeing really tiny things. What tells us, well, then what tells you that this is a bird and not a bee?
I see it's not a bee because if the frog heard a bee, it would attack it to eat it.
Why would it attack a bee? I wouldn't want a bee. It has a big stinger.
Because frogs eat flies and insects.
Oh, so
Even if they have a stinger.
maybe it's just a really nice frog.
No.
What else here tells you that this might be a bird and not a bumblebee? Dibby?
Because bees don't have nests, and it says nidge and instead of hidge. Because bees have hives and birds have nests.
But maybe I just messed it up. Maybe I really wanted it to be a hive. What tells you that this is not a nest and not a hive, other than the first letter?
Because we know sometimes you make real words sometimes, not real. and we know that it's a nest.
How do you know that it's a nest, though, and not a hive? What else tells you that this here would be a nest and not a hive?
And also,
Yeah?
that bees don't have don't really have a little hive. They actually have like a bigger hive than a nest.
Oh, so the word there...
And it says little, so it has to be a nest.
Okay, anyone else? Yes?
And if they were going to live in a nest, what if it was this small and there's like a ginormous bird? 50
Yeah?
bees.
Okay.
If they had to make honey to live, and how can there be honey in there? Because if it was going to be honey, then everything that is honey would just go around the nest, and then when you want to get a twig from there and give it to someone, how are they supposed to take it out?
Oh, well, maybe this wasn't supposed to be a nest. Maybe it was supposed to be a hive. What here tells you that this wouldn't be a hive, that it might be a nest?
Because it needs to have honey.
Oh, and this doesn't say honey?
No, it doesn't have honey anywhere. Look at where it. Look at. Do you even see honey with your own eyes?
No, I
Yes.
don't.
Do you even see an H?
Yes.
In one of the first sentences,
No.
like in the beginning.
Yes?
You don't see it in the beginning.
I don't. So then I must know that it's not a hive. It must be a nest.
Because sometimes, because they always use it with sticks, leaves, and twigs. And mud, because the mud makes it stick together, and the twigs makes the bottom, and this part, and the leaves is maybe like a little tiny blanket. And
Yes?
that's it. And maybe they could also use the leaves for like a little pillow.
So you know what? What you did here is you all used excellent inferring skills to use the information from the text, which is my poem or song, as well as what you already know about bees, about birds, about nests, about hives, and you put it together, and even about people, and you put it together and you made sense of it. And yes, in my mind, I thought that this was a bidge was a bird, the nidge was the net, the frage was the frog, and the twidge were the... You figured out what I was thinking.